Hey there guys, it's Anthony here from Cutting Edge Guitar. Today's lesson is another quick tip lesson, and what I'm going to be talking about today is the easiest way to get 4 notes per string legato. So legato playing is popularised, or has been popularised should I say, by players like Joe Satriani, Alan Holdsworth, Brett Garsed. The last two players that I've mentioned, probably not so many of you are going to have heard of. I mean, I know Alan Holdsworth was super popular, really well known on the scene, but most rock players will tend to know who Joe Satriani is. A lot of students I've come across have never heard of Brett Garsed, which is such a shame because the guy is incredible, such a good legato player. Those three players that I've mentioned are probably my three favourite for the style. Now the thing is, Joe Satriani's legato style is very much based on 3 notes per string scales, things like this. But Alan Holdsworth and Brett Garsed tended to base their style a lot more on 4 notes per string playing, which really opens up the fretboard a lot. Now, the thing with 4 notes per string, it's really hard to do. So what I mean by that, when I'm doing like a standard scale shape that I just played a second ago, 3 notes per string, it's fairly obvious by the name that you play 3 notes of a scale on a string and then move to the next one. But these shapes, they keep you, well, they don't keep you locked into one part of the neck, but if you're thinking in terms of just that shape on its own, you will tend to stay around one part of the fretboard. Now when you think about certain things that Satch might do, or Paul Gilbert, you know, you can play some really cool things staying in one part of the neck, stuff like this. But guitar players get a bit fed up with the phrasing that they're going to be playing, or you know, just sort of being stuck in one part of the neck. So being able to move freely up and down the fretboard is quite desirable. Now this is where Alan Holdsworth started thinking about, you know, playing things in 4 notes per string. Now obviously for a lot of students that I see, this is already stretchy enough. One of the things that you find with trying to do 4 notes on a string, like the next note of this scale, so I'm doing A Dorian. A is the key of the day and I'm playing the Dorian mode today. So A, B, C, the next note I need is a D. In 3 notes per string it's going to be over here, but if I'm trying to do that 4 notes per string, it's got to be over here. Now that particular shape in the fingers is doable, but it's stretchy. Now when I go to the next note of the scale, so I've done 4 notes, okay? So I can now move to my next string. So I'm now going to play E, F sharp, G and A. I've got that shape again in my fingers. It's stretchy, but it's doable. Okay, so after I've played my A, the next note of the scale is going to be B, starting up here. But now I need to play B, C, D, E. That shape, where you've got fingers 1 and 2 right close to each other, then a big stretch between 2 and 3, and then your 4th finger a big stretch from your 3rd finger as well, or a tone should I say, rather than a big stretch. That's really hard to do. And that's in this part of the neck. Imagine trying to do that down here. So if I was playing on F sharp, G, A, right, I've got to stretch my 4th finger over to play that B. Oh, you must be joking. I can't do that. My hands aren't big enough. Alan's were. Alan could play some ridiculous stretches on the guitar, like outrageous. Well, anyway, the fact is, you can still do these Alan Holdsworthy type things by incorporating a slide. Now, that's one of the things that Brett Garsed does in his playing. So he was really into Alan, and he wanted to get this 4 notes per string fluidity, but couldn't do the big stretches. Got the same problem that I've got and what most people out there are going to have. Playing those really big stretches, like phenomenally big stretches, are really difficult. So if you incorporate a slide, you can start getting 4 notes per string. So if I was to play my first 3 notes of A Dorian starting from the F sharp down here, if I was to play F sharp, G, A, then go to my next string and play the B, C, D, I can get 4 notes per string by sliding my hand up to the E. Now I can and carry that thought process on throughout the rest of the scale. Just on the last string there, the high E string, I've actually played a number of different notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5 notes on that string because I've played a 4 notes per string fingering, but then I've slid up and everything as well. So I've actually got 5 notes on that high E string. But that's incorporating the Brett Garsed mentality by using slides. Now, how I think about this is like, so with this 4 notes per string stuff, it's not just about how you're physically playing the notes, it's also a thought process in terms of your improvisation and how you might use it. So how I visualize this and think about this is that it's connected 3 notes per string areas. So I've learnt my fretboard for something like A Dorian as the 7 3 notes per string shapes. So where I've started on my F sharp, I see the fretboard as that whole, that 3 notes per string area. Then the next one next door looks like this. Then up another position, etc, etc. But when I'm playing in this 4 notes per string thinking, I'm seeing each one of those chunks, but just sliding from one to the other. So I haven't really had to go and learn a whole new system. I'm just connecting up one I already know. So with this is why I start these kind of runs if I'm using them with a 3 notes per string thing. So like, instead of sliding here and going 4 notes per string straight away, I've gone 3 notes, 3 notes on that string as well, but then slide up to get my 4 notes. So I can see each 3 notes per string section. Slide, 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 slide. And then I've slid up right to the A there because that's the key I'm in. Now, one of the things that I found with playing these sorts of ideas is that's now a cool way of doing it. I've got 4 notes per string, but to me, I was like, well, okay, I'm now playing 4 notes per string, but I'm still just playing up and down a scale. It sounds a bit boring, if you will. So one of the things that Alan was always looking for with trying to play 4 notes per string was breaking out of being stuck in a position. Well, I'm like, with this, I'm now kind of just starting here and ending here. I need to kind of add some interest. So from listening to Brett Garsed, one of the things that I noticed that I liked about his playing was that he would repeat a lot of notes. Repeating notes gives you this ultra smooth legato sound. So one of the things that I hit upon that works for me, and you can try this out yourself, is if I just repeat certain notes and then put the slide in a different place, I've now got a really smooth, rolling, fluid sound. Okay, and now I'm a player who uses pull-offs. I don't do this whole hammering on backwards thing that certain players out there do. That's very, very clever. It's to some people they say it sounds even smoother and all the rest of it. To be honest, I never had a problem with the sound of the pull-off, so I'm quite happy to use a pull-off. So that there is rhythmically, I'm using 16th notes. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and now I'll carry that on. So that pattern that I'm using, I'm going to now insert that into that 4 notes per string territory that I've used for the A Dorian thing. It'll come out like this. Now with those 5 notes that I've got on the high E string, because of the way the pattern is going, I've got the slide into the high E up here, and then I can now use a 4 notes per string fingering to finish it off. I'll play that through a couple of times really slowly for you guys so you can see it all, then I'm going to play it up to speed. One more slow version. Now let's check out an up-to-tempo version and see what it sounds like. And again. Okay, so there we go. That's how I get the easiest way into that 4 notes per string legato style playing. If you've enjoyed the lesson, subscribe to the channel because I'm going to be doing loads more of these quick tip lessons for you on all sorts of guitar playing subjects. I've also put a link in the description below to the tabs and some extra lesson material that sort of explains how a bit more about these extended scale forms. That's kind of what these 4 notes per string things are, extended scale ranges. So the links are all there for the full lessons, and yeah, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next quick tip. Okay, take care guys, I'll see you soon.